Hi YouTube, back to Basics Gal here again. Today I'm going to share with you how I make a very healthy, nutritional replacement for your normal bouillon. This is a vegetable broth powder made out of Nutritional Yeast Flakes. You can find this at your local health food stores. You can find it online. I always make sure that I get the no GMO yeast flakes. This can costs about $9, I think, is what I paid for it. Anyway, it has a kind of a subtle, nutty flavor. It's a really, really nutritional base for your bouillon broth powder. Anyway, I use this in a lot of recipes. I make cups of soup out of it. I use it as my broths for different soups. It's very, very healthy. If you read the health benefits, I'll show you the back of the can here at the end and tell you what some of the benefits are to this. I've run out of onion powder, so I like to use the onion flakes, and I think it tastes a little bit fresher just mixing them up. Macerating them in the with a mortar and pestle. Anyway, make them into a fresh powder. I'm not going to give you the amounts on this. I will post the original recipe. You can use your own taste to make this. It's very, very forgiving. If you like rosemary, add rosemary. If you like tarragon, add tarragon. If you like more jam, whatever you like in your soup base, add it. This is a very forgiving recipe. I will post the original recipe so you have a baseline of the amounts. But feel free to experiment with this. I think it's one of those recipes that you can do that with, and it'll still turn out fine. For instance, this recipe calls for a half a cup of salt. Where I think that is way too much salt for my liking, my personal taste. So I'm only going to add a tablespoon to my base mix. You, on the other hand, might like to have the half a cup. It's, like I said, it's very forgiving. Anyway, so I'm going to add some of my fresh dehydrated garlic powder. This is a lot stronger, I think, than the stuff you buy in the store. In the fall, I always take the garlic and I put it in the dehydrator in the garage, and I dehydrate a lot of garlic and make fresh garlic powder. Anyway, I'm going to add some of that, and I'm going to add my teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use just regular kosher salt. I'm just going to stick a teaspoon. Yeah, a teaspoon is fine. Like I said, I taste mine and I salt it to taste when I'm making up whatever recipe I'm making. And celery seed is a real good addition to this. I'm just going to add a teaspoon of celery seed to it. That puts a nice base flavor in there. All these different notes. It's like building it builds on each other when you're making this, the different flavors. I always add parsley after. I'm going to add it now, and I'm going to be putting this in the blender to make it into a fine powder. But I always add a little bit of parsley now, and then I add the parsley flakes after I grind it because I like the looks of the parsley in my broth. I'm going to add a little bit of basil. I don't want it too overpowering, so I'm not going to add quite a teaspoon to it. And let's see, I'm going to add some thyme. I love the flavor of thyme in my broth. I dehydrated quite a bit out of the garden last year, and I actually ran out this year, so I'm going to be drying some more thyme this year, and maybe I'll do a video on that. I love the smell of this stuff and the taste. And I'm going to add a little bit of tarragon to mine. The other thing I really like in this is rosemary. I'm not going to add it in this time, but you can add rosemary if you like it. Some people just use an Italian seasoning and call it good. So you can, like I said, you can, as you make this, and you can build your own, as long as you have the base of the nutritional yeast flakes, you can build however you want. Here I've put it into the blender, and it's now a fine powder. As you can see, some of my onion chunks didn't get made. Now this is, I always add a teaspoon or two of turmeric. I like the color it adds. It's kind of a bitter tasting, peppery tasting spice. I think it adds a little bit of a peppery taste, back note to it. And I also like the color that it brings to my broths. And I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. As I said, I like to see the parsley in my broth. I'm going to mix some up, some soup that I make to take to work, and I'm going to show you how this actually turns out. Well, I've made a cup of soup, and it's a lot healthier than the stuff you get in the store, I assure you. You can use the ramen noodles. I always throw away that little flavor packet when I use the noodles. I'm using my dehydrated carrots. Of course, 1 tablespoon of the broth yeast. This is no GMO, and it's this stuff. I can't say enough good stuff about this. As you can see on the back, it is just loaded with nutrition. But it's gluten-free, no GMO. And in this soup, I'm using vermicelli. You can use the ramen noodles. You could use quick rice, I guess. And then I also use some of my freeze-dried peas. I'll just put this in a baggie and I'll take some to work. Keep it in my drawer, in my desk. Anyway, smells great. I wish we had smell-o-vision, and I could give everybody a taste. It tastes really good. You would not know that this is so nutritional by tasting it. I did add a little bit of salt to taste. Like I said, I salt everything to taste when I make it. But this is fabulous. Have fun. Try it out. It's a great addition to your food storage. This is Back to Basics, Gal. Thanks for stopping by.